Hi, my name is Amritesh Kumar. One of my biggest passion as well as favorite hobby is teaching, and so I am here. Today, I'm gonna upload my first video from the chapter Trigonometry of class 10. Before getting into the topics, let me take you back when I was in class 10. The chapter Trigonometry was considered as one of the toughest chapter for my friends as well as myself. But let me tell you, it is just a perspective of one's mind. It is not at all tough. Moreover, the only thing that we have to concentrate here is reading the question properly and then applying the concept. After this video, you will come to know that it is not at all tough and anyone can handle it once the concepts are clear. So let's get started. See, in this trigonometric chapter, there are few things that we should know before jumping into the problems or the application levels. From those, one thing is you can witness on my screen, that is trigonometric table. For, for the class 10th, angle till 90 degrees more than enough. Whereas when we go to higher studies, maybe we need 270, 360, like that values also we need. But for the timing, since I'm going to take for class 10, till 90 degrees enough. And by seeing the table, few of you will be thinking that it is difficult to by heart. But for that, I'm going to help you to learn this table quickly as well as in a simple way. After that, we will follow some basic formulas. We will see some basic formulas, and then we will have an overall view of how the chapter is going to look like. Okay. See, in order to deal with these values, I'm not gonna tell you that you have to by heart each and every values of this table. The only thing which I'm going to request is you have to know the first row, that is the values of this this row. See, for that there are 5 values: 0 degree, 30 degree, 45, 60 and 90. 0 degree is 0, 90 degree is 1. That is straightforward. Other 3 values you have to keep in mind. Sin 30 is 1 by 2, sin 45 is 1 by root 2, sin 60 is root 3 by 2. Alright. So sin 0 is 0, sin 30 is 1 by 2, sin 45 is 1 by root 2, sin 60 is root 3 by 2 and sin 90 is 1. Now, with the help of this first row, I will explain you how you can derive this whole table. See, you can see the first row values 0, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, root 3 by 2 and 1. For cos values, what you have to do is just write the first row in opposite manner from the ending part. That is, sin cos 0 will become 1. This 1 will go to first place. Root 3 will come to this second place. 1 by 2 will go in same place. 1 by the 1 by root 2 will go in same place. Then 1 by 2 is going to come in second last and 0 will go in last. This is understood, right? And for tan, what you have to do is, see, tan is nothing but, if you see, tan is a ratio of sine by cos. So when we study, there are actually 6 trigonometric ratios that we have to deal in this chapter: sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec and cot. For tan, if you know tan is actually nothing but sine by cos, sine theta by cos theta. Now using this, you can derive the third row. See, if you see tan 0, it is, what is sine? It will be sine 0 by, let me write. See, tan 0 degree will be equal to sine 0 degree divided by cos 0 degree, right? See, what is sine 0 degree? It is 0 divided by 1. So you will get 0. Similarly, other values you can obtain. 1 by 2 divided by root 3 by 2 is 1 by root 3. Similarly, other values you can get. And coming to the 90 degree part, There you will get 1 by 0. Since any number divided by 0 is not defined, we are going to get as value as not defined. Then for cosec, for getting the value of fourth row, cosec is nothing but 1 by sine. It is complementary for sine. So cosec theta is equal to 1 by sine theta. Now using this, you can get the values for fifth row, right? So if you say cosec 0, it will be 1 divided by sine 0. Sine 0 is 0, so you will get not defined, right? Similarly, other values you can obtain. Then for coming to sec values, sec raw, sec like cosec is complementary for sine. In the same way, sec is complementary for cos. So if you divide the raw of cos, you can get the values for sec. So if you see cos 0 is 1, right? In the same way, if you want to find sec 0, it will be 1 by 1, which will be 1. In the similar manner, you can obtain the values for other values of sec. Now coming to cot, cot you can get in two ways. One is either you can take the complementary of tan, that is 1 divided by tan, or you can get by cos theta by sin theta. If you try this, you can get the value for that whole table. See, we have now understood how to get the values of this whole table. These values are one of the most important part in your whole trigonometric chapter. Hope this is clear. Now let's go to some basic formulas. See, this trigonometric chapter is mainly divided for right angle triangle. So let me draw a right angle triangle here. Okay, let's draw here. Okay, let's draw a right angle triangle. For the namesake, I am writing as ABC, which is right angle at B. Then this value I am giving as theta. Okay, what is this side? Since it is a right angle triangle, the longest side is called hypotenuse, right? So this is called hypotenuse. Then BC, what is BC? BC is either the adjacent side or we can call it base. So it will be either adjacent side or there is another name called base. Then the side which is opposite to the angle. See, this side AB is opposite to angle theta, right? That is called as opposite side. Opposite side. Now since I have explained you that there are 6 trigonometric ratios, so let me name one by one. First one is sine theta. Sine theta is nothing but it is opposite side by hypotenuse. So opposite side by hypotenuse, that is AB divided by AC. Okay, this is sine theta. Now second is cos theta. What is cos theta? Cos theta is adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. Divided by hypotenuse. What is adjacent side? Adjacent side is BC divided by hypotenuse is AC. Then tan theta. Tan theta is nothing but opposite by base. So opposite, it is not, yeah, opposite by base. That is equal to, what is opposite? It is AB divided by BC. If you see clearly, this value will be equal to sine divided by cos. Sine divided by cos. Then coming to cosec part, that is fourth ratio, cosec theta, that is actually a complementary of sine theta. What is that equal to? That will be equal to hypotenuse divided by opposite side, or we can write it as AC divided by AB. Alright. Then we have two more, that is sec theta and cot theta. So first one is sec theta. That is the complementary of cos. So 1 divided by cos theta. That will be equal to hypotenuse divided by base or adjacent side. That will be equal to AC by BC. The last one is cot theta. Cot theta is equal to 1 by tan. It is complementary to tan, or we can tell it as cos by sine. Cos by sine will be equal to base divided by opposite side. That will be equal to BC divided by AB. Alright. These are the ratios from the triangle, and what is the main definition of all the ratios. I hope this is clear. Then last we have a concept called quadrant concept. After that we can look some 2 or 3 formulas, and then we can start solving questions. So let me explain you first quadrant concept. Quadrant concept. See, we know that we have 4 quadrants, right? First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. In trigonometric terms, we will deal with angles. So we know that this is 0 degree, this will be 90 degree, right? This will be 90 degree. For remembering these things, I am going to give you one tip. That is, see, first quadrant, let me name it as after. Second quadrant, I am naming as school. Third, I am naming as 2. And last, I am naming as college. From each word, you look the first word. From each word, you look the first letter. Okay. S, T, C. Why did I give you? There is a reason. See, since the first quadrant is starting with A, it implies that in the first quadrant, everything is positive. So, all are positive. That is, sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec and cot, everything will be positive in first quadrant. Now coming to the second quadrant, this is for first quadrant, okay. Now coming to the second quadrant, since it is starting with S, so the only two things that are going to be positive is, one is sine will be positive, and what is complementary for sine? It is cosec. Cosec will be positive, other all will be negative. Okay, in second quadrant, only sine and cosec are positive, and other all will be negative. Similarly, in the third quadrant, since it's starting with T, tan and cot will be positive, and other all will be negative. Then last, coming to the fourth quadrant, that is starting with C, cos and sec will be positive, and other all will be negative. Cos and sec will be positive, and other all will be negative. Why we have studied this concept is, in many questions we need complementary things, or we need substitution. When these things are coming is, when we need to use these things, when we have to prove, in means there will be some questions like show that, prove this. In that time, we might be in need of this concept. So for building that concept, you should know that when there is a multiple of 90 degree, odd multiples of 90 degree, at that time we will take the complementary and put the corresponding sign. For example, if I take sine 90 minus theta, see 90 is an odd multiple of means 90 is an odd multiple of 90, right? 90 to 1, 90 into 1 is 90 and 1 is an odd number, so it is an odd multiples of 90. In this case, what you have to do is you have to take complementary of sign. So whenever odd multiples of 90 is there, you have to take complementary. So complementary of sign is cos. Cos. Okay. Then look where will 90 minus theta lie in our graph. 90 minus theta will lie in first quadrant, right? Because 90 is here and minus theta, if you do it will lie in the first quadrant. In first quadrant everything is positive. So we don't have to bother about sign. It will be definitely positive. So it will be positive. But let me tell you one example of cos 90 plus theta. Cos 90 plus theta. In this case, look where will it lie? It will lie in the second quadrant because 90 degrees this and plus anything we will reach in the second quadrant, right? So in that case, what is the complementary of sine? Means cos, that will be sine theta, and in the second quadrant what will be the sign of cos? We have to check the sign of first term, not the last term. Okay, so what will be the sign of first term in second quadrant? It will be negative, right? So we'll get here negative. But if you have even multiples of 90 like sine 180 minus theta or sine 180 plus theta, in that case you don't have to take the complementary, you have to write the same trigonometric ratio, but you have to take care of sine. So 180 minus theta, where will it lie? It will lie in the second quadrant, and in second quadrant sine is positive, so this will be positive. But coming to the next part, you know that 180 plus theta will go in third quadrant. In there only tan and cot is positive, other all will be negative, so we'll place a negative sign here. Okay, this is how we will deal with quadrant problems. Okay, after that we have some basic equations. Okay, few basic after that, with the help of these things we will solve whole chapter of trigonometry. You don't have to know anything else. Those who know these formulas and all, you can definitely jump directly into the problems and see. You don't have to waste your time. Basic equations. First one. First is sine square plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Sine square theta plus cos square theta plus cos square theta is 1. Then coming to the second equation, it will be sec square theta is equal to 1 plus tan square theta, or you can write it as sec square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1. And third equation is cot square theta, or you can write it in opposite way. It is cosec square theta is equal to 1 plus cot square theta, or cosec square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1. These were the basic things that we have to know before solving the problems. Now, I have taken few examples from your same textbook. Let's see them. See the first problem. Before solving the problem, read the questions carefully and then try to connect which concept we can apply. After then only we will go for solving the problems. So let's see the problem. First one. In triangle ABC, angle right angle at B, AB is equal to 24 centimeter, BC is equal to 7 centimeter. Right? So what is given things? First you have to write like given things. Given that in triangle ABC, AB is equal to 24 centimeter, BC is equal to 7 centimeter. So let's draw a triangle of such name. Okay, let's say this is A, this is B, this is C. What they're asking? They're asking to determine sin A and cos A, right? So whatever they're asking to determine, since they're asking for A, we have to draw an angle here. Okay. Now let's see what they have given. They have given AB is equal to 24 centimeters. So this is 24 and this is 7. Now they have asked to determine sin A. From this figure, what is sin A? Sin A is opposite by hypotenuse. In this case, if you see clearly, opposite side of A is BC. So it will be BC divided by AC. But there is no value for AC. So before going to this equation, we have to find the value of AC. How we can get that? We know since it is a right angle triangle, two sides are given. How we can find the third side? Using Pythagoras theorem. What is Pythagoras theorem? In a right angle triangle, the hypotenuse square will be equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. So from Pythagoras theorem, we have AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. What is AB square? AB is 24, so AB square will be equal to 576 plus BC. BC is 7, so BC square will be equal to 49. Therefore, what will be AC square? AC square will be equal to 625. Hence, AC will be equal to root of 625. What is that? That is 25. Therefore, substitute that value here. We'll get sin A is equal to BC. What is BC? BC is 7 divided by AC is 25. Sorry. Similarly, what is cos A? Cos A. Cos A is nothing but adjacent side. Adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. So adjacent side is AB divided by hypotenuse is AC. What is that? Adjacent side AB is 24, hypotenuse is 25. This way we have to solve the problem. I hope this is clear. Now let's get into the second problem. See, second problem is pretty straightforward. It's just that it is just to check that whether you know the values of the table or not. See, sin 60, we know. If you see sin 0 is 0, sin 30 is 1 by 2, sin 45 is 1 by root 2, sin 60 is root 3 by 2, and sin 90 is 1. So here they are asking sin 60, cos 30, cos 60 and sin 30. So what is sin 60? Sin 60 is root 3 by 2. So root 3 by 2 into cos 30. If you remember what I had said earlier, that for getting the values of cos, we have to go in the reverse order of sine. So cos 30 will be equal to sine 60. So here also we'll get root 3 by 2. Okay. Plus cos 60. Cos 60 will be equal to sine 30. That will be equal to 1 by 2. And sine 60 is 1 by 2. So if you see root 3 into root 3, it will be 3. 2 into 2 will be equal to 4. Then 1 into 1 will be equal to 1. 2 into 2 will be equal to 4. 3 by 4 plus 1 by 4. What we are going to get? We'll get 1. Hence, value of this whole equation, if you solve, you will get the value 1. Right? Okay. Now coming to the next question. Let's see. See, this is one of the good question from your textbook. See, for this, let's say what are the given things. So, given that tan a plus b is equal to root 3 and tan a minus b is equal to 1 by root 3. Now we have to find the value of a and b. See, if we divide this both, we are not going to get that value. So we have to think of another way. How we can think of another way? See, in the place of this root 3 and 1 by root 3, I can substitute something in terms of tan, right? If you see the table, let's see that. See this table. Instead of root 3, 1 by root 3, I can substitute tan 30. And instead of root 3, I can substitute tan 60. So let's substitute that. Putting tan 60 and tan 30 instead of root 3 and 1 by root 3. Therefore, what will we get? We will get tan a plus b is equal to tan 60 and tan a minus b is equal to tan 30, right? In this type of questions only we will be in need of that tables, right? I hope now it is clear to you what is important of that table. In the similar way, in the coming section we will understand what is the importance of that quadrant concept. Okay, so let's take this as equation 1 and this as equation 2. If I take equation 1 and from the LHS side, if I am transferring this tan to that side, I will be getting a plus b is equal to tan inverse. When this tan goes to RHS side, it will become tan inverse, and already we are having tan 60. Then this tan inverse and this tan will get cancelled, and we will get a plus b is equal to 60. In the similarly, equation 2 will give you a minus b is equal to 30. Now let's name this as equation 3 and this as equation 4. If you just add equation 3 and 4, what will we get? What will be getting? If you add this equation 3 and 4, we will be getting b and b will plus b and minus b will get cancelled. We will get 2a is equal to 90. Therefore, what is the value of a? A you will get as 45. Now it is pretty easy, right? Since you know the value of a, you can substitute in any equation, you will get the value of b. Therefore, if you solve this, you will get b is equal to, let's put this 45 in equation 3 or 4. Okay, let's take in 4. if you put a in 4, putting a in 4, putting a in 4, we get b is equal to 15. Hence, value of a is equal to 45 and b is equal to 15. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. What we did is, instead of just that root 3 and 1 by root 3, we substituted the value of tan. That's it. Then coming to the next question, see, in this case we have to use the concept of that quadrant. See, it is tan 48, tan 23, tan 42 and 67. We have to prove that it is equal to 1. How you can prove that is equal to 1? See, you can get the value of 1 if you can cancel everything in LHS, right? But since everything is written in terms of tan, we cannot cancel and get 1. So you have to think of such a way that we have to substitute something in terms of tan so that we can cancel them. If you think properly, the opposite of tan, or we can tell, if you make some terms in terms of cot, then we can easily cancel them and we can get the value 1. That means we have to think of some complementary terms. Here, since only tans are present, we have to bring cot somewhere. Where you can bring, see, either you can take this to value or you can take this to value. Any value you should convert to cot and then you will get. How will you be getting? See, you need everything in positive. So for positive, where should we bring? We should bring in first quadrant, right? So just let's take this first two term. Instead of tan, tan 48. Tan 48, how we can write? We can write it as tan 90 minus 42. What is tan 90 minus theta? That is equal to cot theta, right? So we'll get cot 42. In a similar way, when we solve for tan 23, we can write them as tan 90 minus 67. Okay, what this will give you? It will give you cot 67. Now, if you put this both value, let's see, this is tan 48 and this is tan 23. Okay, if you put this both value in the above LHS, taking LHS, so we will get, so instead of tan 48, I am putting cot 42. How we can write cot 42? Okay, let's write in first. Let's first write and then I will show you. Cot 42, and instead of tan 23, I am writing cot 67 into tan 42 into tan 67. Now see how we can write this cot 42. You can write it as, you can directly cancel, but for those who cannot understand, I am just telling one more step. 1 by tan 67. Why did I write like this? Because tan and cot are complementary. Tan 42 into tan 67. Now this tan and this tan 67 will get cancelled. Similarly, this tan 42 and this tan 42 will get cancelled. We will get 1, that is equal to RHS. Hence proved. Now coming to the next question, that is question number, okay, this is 1, 2, yeah, question number 5th. This is actually one of the application question which I have taken from a textbook. Let's first read the question and try to understand what is going to ask or what we are expected to get by solving this. Okay, see, a circus artist is climbing a 20-meter long rope which is tightly stretched and tied from the top of a vertical pole to the ground. find the height of the pole if the angle made by the rope with the ground is 30 degree. Okay. See, when we go to the circus and all, we might have seen many artists doing several stunts and all, like climbing a rope or riding a bike, etc. Uh, an example of such is given. See, what it is given is a circus artist is climbing a 20-meter long rope, which is tightly stretched and tied from the top of a vertical pole to the ground. From the top of a vertical pole. So let's take this as vertical pole. Let's name this as P. Okay. Now it is telling that it is stretched from top of this pole to the ground. So how will it go to ground? It will go in a slanted manner, right? Like this. And this is your ground. Okay. This is your ground and this is your rope. Okay. Length of the rope is given as how much? 20 meter, right? 20 meter. Now one more information you can get from the question is angle made by the rope with the ground is 30 degree. Therefore this is your rope, this is your ground. Therefore angle between them is 30 degree. Right? Now see what they're asking. They're asking find the height of the pole. They're asking height of this pole. How you can connect this side and given side. See, this is the angle. We need to find opposite side and we have been given with the length of the hypotenuse. Therefore, think which trigonometric can connect opposite side and hypotenuse. It is nothing but sine theta. Therefore, from let's write first given things. Given length of the rope is equal to 20 meters. Angle between rope and ground is 30 degree. Therefore, to find the height of the pole, we know sine theta is opposite side divided by hypotenuse. Here it is opposite theta is 30 degree. Therefore, sine 30 is equal to opposite side. What is opposite side? That is P. What is P? P is nothing but pole and divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 20. What is sine 30? Sine 30 is 1 by 2. P divided by 20. Hence, by solving this, you will get 20 will go to this side. 20 divided by 2 is 10 meters. Therefore, height of the pole is nothing but 10 meters. These were some of the overview from chapter trigonometry. I hope this was clear to you since it is my first video and I have just started with this trigonometric chapter. I gave a small overview of this chapter so that you needn't be scared of this chapter. There is nothing in this chapter if you apply the concept and whatever we have learned here. In the coming videos, we will be seeing more details in this chapter. I hope this is helpful to you. Thank you.